Welcome to our United for Math series on division. In this series, we're going to be looking at a lot of different strategies on how to teach students to divide. This is their first opportunity with division, so they've never seen it before, and they're just coming off learning multiplication. So this is a great time to introduce that division is the inverse operation of multiplication, or the opposite operation. In this first lesson, we're going to talk about equal groups. So when we're dividing, it's all about sorting or sharing equally. Those are some key terms that students want to know so that when they're doing word problems or are in real life needing to divide, they know when we see share or grouped equally, that means division. So let's take a look at our first division problem and just explain those parts. In this first example, we have 12 divided by 4 equals 3. Now this has already been solved for us, but we want to talk about the different parts of a division problem. So instead of calling this a number sentence anymore, we're starting to call it an equation because it has that equal sign. And this largest number at the beginning, that's the dividend. That's the one that we are going to be dividing into. So when I explain it to students, I say dividend, divide in. So this is the number that we're going to be breaking up. Then we have our division sign, which is related to subtraction, because remember that division is really like repeated subtraction. Then we have this 4, and this is the divisor. I like to explain this to students as like a baker or a lawyer. He's the divisor. It's his job to divide up the dividend. So when we think about that or at the end, we think, okay, that's his job. He has to split them up. And at the end, our answer is really called our quotient. It's a lot different than these words, but I continuously say quotient in my classroom so that students know that that's the answer to a division problem. Now they might also see it looking like this. 4, and then we have our house with a 12 inside. And they want to say 4 divided by 12, but really it's 12 divided by 4. And when you have a problem that's shaped like this, you always put your quotient on top. And I tell the kids it's the quotient is the queen and gets to sit on top of the throne. So that's how we remember where to put the answer. Now that we know the different parts of a division problem, let's take a look at one and start sorting it into equal groups. In this example, we have 32 divided by 8 equals something. So this is our dividend, the largest number that we're going to be breaking down. Then we're dividing it into 8 sections. So that means we're dividing it into 8 equal groups. So we're going to start by drawing 8 circles that represent our equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is their first opportunity to start sorting or sharing equally. So what students are going to do is they're going to count up to 32, and every time they do that, they're going to put another dot inside each of these groups. So we'll start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So now we can see that all of our groups have the same number of dots in it. So that becomes our quotient. So if I'm splitting 32 equally between 8 equal groups, then I'm going to have a quotient of 4. And I know that because each one of my circles has 4 dots in it. Equal groups is a great strategy when you're starting out with division and when you have those lower numbers. But when you get into like 84, it's kind of like tedious to keep writing all of those dots. And students will be like, this is going to take forever. So they are going to need some different strategies, which we're going to be going over. But this is a great way to start because they're seeing the sorting and the sharing happening. Let's look at one more problem. This example states that Craig has 24 toy cars. He separated them into 6 equal groups. How many cars are in each group? So we're going to use the cubes method to break this down. We have 24 toy cars, and he separated them into 6 equal groups. So we have our numbers, we have 24 and 6. Our question is how many cars are in each group? So I can see that we're going to be distributing this 24 out into the groups equally. Now we need to look for those key words. So we have equal groups. Equal groups is huge when it comes to division. You're going to see that a lot. And the words in each. It's similar to multiplication when we're talking about each, but when we say in each, it's almost like we're putting them in there. So now let's build our equation. We have 24 that we're breaking down into 6 equal groups. So 24 divided by 6 is equal to something. Now, there's lots of different ways we can do this, but we're working on those equal groups. So we want to start with drawing 6 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these are the 6 groups that Craig sorted his cars into. Now let's sort them equally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So now we can see that there's an equal number in every single one of these groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so our number that we came up with was 4. But I like to push kids a little bit harder and say, well, what does that 4 represent? Let's interpret that quotient. So we come back up to our question, how many cars are in each group? So this 4 represents the number of cars. So it's 4 cars in each group. Equal groups is a great place to start with division. This gives them an opportunity to actually physically sort out and make equal groups, which is what division is all about. So we want to sort equally or share, which are the key words for division. In our next lesson, we're going to be working with the inverse operation when we're talking about division. Thank you again for joining us at United for Math. We'll see you in our next lesson.